Hey, give him a message to rotate the Monday Night Football, Washington Redskins. It's like oil and water. The two don't mix. We play the Philadelphia Eagles with a chance to try to strengthen our position being at second place. I mean, what more can I say? Colt McCoy, within a few moments of the game, Colt McCoy, he goes down. Injury that was similar to RG3 back when he got injured when we played the Baltimore Ravens. Colt McCoy was scrambling out of the pocket. He slipped, leg whipped into the defender, fractured his leg. Almost the same thing that happened to Robert Griffin III. The game was frustrating. Mark Sanchez, he comes in. The only positive of the game is the fact that you get a chance to see Adrian Peterson rip off a 90-yard run. And that's the only offensive score of the game besides the 2 field goals that we get. It was a frustrating game. I'm at work. In the job that I do, I'm receiving chats from agents that don't know what the fuck they're doing. So it's taking my attention away. And there's a whole bunch of new agents. So I didn't really get a chance to enjoy the game because I was too busy trying to educate new hires on how to do their job properly. And of course, doing supervisor calls, which customers didn't get on my nerve as much as the new hires did. All the same, back to the game. We have Jay Gruden with his shit play calling. And listen, I understand you have a third stringer quarterback, Mark Sanchez, coming in. It's not like he hasn't started in the league before. He's just a craptastic quarterback. I remember years ago where Redskins fans wanted to have Mark Sanchez. You got what you paid for. Well, you got what you asked for, excuse me. It was a terrible game. We couldn't get anything done defensively. And the sad thing about it, watching the game, you see the defense with, stacking at least 7 guys in the box. And they were still able to run for huge chunks. So that's all on the coaching. You have Trent Williams and Morgan Moses. And if you're around me during the game, you will hear me say one of those 2 names, if not both, in anger. Typically because of a false start or a fucking hold. And it always happens at the most inopportune moment when we get something positive going. So I remember one part where 3 consecutive plays, there was a flag thrown. Again, all on the coaching. I like Trent Williams. I like his nastiness. I don't like his propensity to fucking hold and get called for a false start just about every game. It's the most infuriating thing. And we as Washington Redskins fans, all we want is a win. We had the opportunity to be able to boast for a short period about being in first place. That was short-lived. It seems like every time we come into a crucial game, which is every game, we fall flat. We fell flat against Atlanta. We fell flat against Houston. We fell miserably flat against the Cowboys. And now this. We're now down to 3rd place in the NFC East. We're the laughing stock of the division. No one really thinks about the Giants. And still, when we play the Giants, I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of the talking heads are in favor of them beating us. And I wouldn't be surprised because you never know which team shows up on football Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. It's extremely frustrating to see Jay Gruden on the sideline, or just when you see certain plays that are shit plays. You can't really expect too much of Mark Sanchez because was just signed. He's filling in. He doesn't understand the playbook. At least he didn't butt fumble. So we got to give him credit for that. At least he didn't butt fumble. But at the same time, just not getting him out of the pocket, similar to not getting Alex Smith out of the pocket, not getting Colt McCoy out of the pocket. We're sitting duck with an offensive line that can't really do a good job of pass blocking. We have wide receivers that can route run, but don't route run effectively to create separation. So it was good to see Doxson get a couple of passes. but we don't have anyone that's a playmaker that's going to step up. Jordan Reed was practically absent in the game, so teams know that we're going to go to him. He's the go-to guy because we really have no offensive stars other than Adrian Peterson. And if you shut down the run game, which most teams have been able to do, who do we have to go to? Jamison Crowder, he got involved a little bit earlier, but then he became invisible. Mr. Irrelevant, Trey Quinn, he didn't play. I think he had an injured ankle, so I don't think I saw any game time for him. We have Michael Floyd. He really hasn't done much. He's a big body receiver, but he really hasn't done much. So that's disappointing because he has that potential, I would imagine. But when he was drafted by Arizona so many years ago, it just really hasn't. So he's been around the league. But what more can I say? And I'm trying to do because we all feel the frustration of seeing our team just plummet for the season. Now we're 6-6. We're at 500. The thought of ending at 10-6 because we have those games left. I think we have the Giants next. I can't remember. I will check the schedule. But each and every game is crucial. And the worst part about it is, especially when you live down here in South Texas like I do, you have these Cowboys fans so fucking obnoxious and working around them and just seeing every time the opponent scores and then seeing their eyes come in my direction. Hey, what happened? And that smug look on their face at work. Can't get fired for choking the hell out of someone, but the temptation is there. All the same, it's just the coaching staff and the lack of discipline on defense, the lack of execution, injuries. You can't dismiss the fact that they're injuries, but every team has injuries, so we can't play that. We can't use that as an excuse each and every time. Hell, when we played Atlanta, the Packers in reserves for their depleted offensive line. So again, look what they did to us. But the fact that we could not effectively get to Carson Wentz, the fact that we couldn't stop about this game, to lick our wounds, see what the hell we're going to do because we're down to one quarterback. I'm pretty sure we'll sign someone. But all the while, we have Jay Gruden, who doesn't really game plan well. We come into each and every game hyped up like we're going to do well. And then this is the product that we see on the field. I still love my Redskins. I still represent my burgundy and gold down here in South Texas where I live. And I'm always ready to talk shit to anyone that comes in my direction trying to talk about Go Cowboys. Because the sentiment that I express, and I believe I talk for every Redskins fan when I say fuck the Cowboys. So we'll have to see how everything goes. But this is the face of a very frustrated man. And I know that a lot of us are frustrated, especially for prime time. We haven't won a Monday night game since Colt McCoy beat the Dallas Cowboys a couple of years ago. But we can't live in the past because that's something the Cowboys do, talking about them damn Super Bowl rings. Anyhow, I'm getting ready to go to a school zone. I'm going to pick up my high schooler, my youngest. Good thing I'm off today and tomorrow. It gets to absorb, so I can just let my frustrations out playing video games and not want to choke the hell out of anyone, like I said earlier. But until the next time, wherever you guys are, I hope that you're safe. I hope that you're well. I hope that we can get a game that we can actually look well. To the Redskins, love you.